Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Friday Connect. We're here every single week, Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And this training is all about how to get started in real estate, but particularly, even if you've been an agent for a little bit and you need a little bit of a restart because you've started on the wrong foot, you haven't seen a little bit of momentum, this is a great 90-day start fast track plan that Jacob and I are put together. And we're going to show you exactly how to get started in this industry, how to grow, how to scale, really build a strong foundation for your business. And we're going to share some slides. I'm going to walk you through exactly what the training is going to be all about today. And just to do some little bit of housekeeping, where this is a Friday Connect, and because we're here every single week, you can pre-register for a lot of events coming up in the future. So in the comment section below, we're going to put in the link to our in the description below as well as, but in the comments right now, because people are here, we're going to put it in the comment section below exactly how to register for some of the events coming up. Make sure you join our Facebook group, stay connected there. That's where all of the community is being built there. That means that you can ask us questions, participate in polls, tell us exactly the type of trainings that you want to see here, and how to interact with this as well. And Jacob and I really sat together and brought all of the past 2 years of really working with our agents, what they've struggled with, what we felt they were missing, really, when we started to evaluate some of their work. We put together a really comprehensive presentation for you that's going to really help you get started in the right foot. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen and get going. There you go. Can everybody see my slides?
Yep.
Perfect. So, like I mentioned, today's topic is all about 90-day agent fast track start plan. How you're going to get started in this. And like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter if you're a brand new agent coming into this industry or if you are an agent who's been around. And we just recently met one of our agents we onboarded, said that, hey, I've been in the industry for the past 2 years and I want to get started. I want to get a refresh as a new agent. I want to start as if I'm starting for the first time. It's because he's been around 3, 4 other brokerages and still confused, hasn't done a single deal, and he wants to restart. And this is a great plan to follow because it's going to set you up for success for the long term and not for the short term. And it's going to make a lot of sense as we go through this presentation. And for those of you that might not know who we are, we'll give you a little introduction. My name is Tarmila Rajasingham. I come from over a decade working in the marketing field, primarily for large city scale events. I started working for not for profit, and then I started working for government. And that's kind of a lot of my strategy and where it comes from, which is why I love doing what I do. And I'm currently a digital marketing instructor, and I teach a lot of real estate agents how to grow their business as a realtor, but also as a team leader. And I'm also a real estate investor. So if you have any questions about that, or if you want to see more training on that, you could see that. And you can also head to our Friday Connect YouTube channel and check out some of the trainings I've done on that as well. And make sure you tag a photo, connect with us. We're both on Instagram. There's our handle right there. So stay connected. Send us a DM if you have any questions. So Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Jacob Sharman. I have been in digital marketing for over 15 years. My specialty is web design and SEO strategies. I'm also a realtor here in Houston, Texas, and a global team leader with eXp Realty as well.
And
And
Jacob and
so,
I, yeah.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention that Jacob and I, we both been in this field working together as marketers, and we put together a lot of really amazing tools for all of you. And I highly recommend that you check them out. And we'll put it in our chat box, the resources, the all the free resources that we provide to real estate agents and how you can partner with us, work with us. And Jacob and I also have a marketing agency where we specifically help real estate agents. And more importantly, you might have heard us talking about this. We have a platform called Karuvi Social, which is a social media content platform, which does social media done for you. And we'll touch on that a little bit in a second. But go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and go to the slide. And what I want to emphasize in training to, like she said, whether you're getting your license, new agent, you have been in the business forever and you're struggling, this is the training for you. But it all comes about choosing support system. Are you at the right brokerage? So there's so many brokerages, traditional, cloud-based, and every brokerage is not for everybody. So you need to find the brokerage that you gravitate towards to that can help you in the area you are weak. So if you are weak in marketing, you want to find a brokerage that can help, or a team that can help you with your marketing. If you're weak on negotiating and sales side, then you want to find somebody that can help you on that production side. And you want to choose the right environment. You know, you need to look at what are the resources that this brokerage is providing? Are they up to date? What's the staff look like? What does your mentor or trainer look like? What are the people helping you look like? Have they done a deal recently, or are they the people hired 15 years ago and still not doing deals? So you want to find the right brokerage that can give up to date training, and make sure you don't limit yourself based on your brokerage as well. Most traditional franchise brokerages will have a broker and an office manager that are wearing so many hats that they can never really get to you. One of my joined our group because on his first deal, his broker couldn't get back with him for 3 days. He had nobody to help him. Um, that transaction, he basically had to figure it out on his own. So make sure that you have a brokerage that has that support system, because most limited at your broker's knowledge. Here at EXP, access to 900 employees. And if I need tech support, accounting, I need to talk to my broker, I can go into our cloud, sit with them face to face, and never wait more than 5 minutes to get help and actually get experienced help, specialized help, and not just relying that I hope my broker knows tech or I hope he knows marketing. True and amazing resources. And you want to align yourself with the right group team as well that can provide additional resources. Inside of our group here at EXP, we provide additional marketing training, social media content done for you, sales funnels, everything you need to be successful. So make sure that you're asking a lot of questions, you're choosing the right brokerage. If you're stuck in your business, maybe it's time to look at another brokerage.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I wanted to touch on here is that if there's any, if people, it happens all the time where you ask a lot of questions and they overpromise and they don't quite deliver. And I think, and it's up to you to hold any of these people accountable. And it's up to you because it is your business. Because I've had agents who come to me a year later being at a brokerage and they did nothing. And they come to our brokerage and within months they do deals. And it's because they haven't really done anything about it. So if something isn't working, you gotta figure what isn't working. And that doesn't mean it might not be your broker. It could be just you not having the right plan. So and I'm going to touch on this really at the end of the presentation. It's going to make a lot of sense, but I really want you to evaluate and think about, am I in the right vehicle to get to where I want to be? And that's why we want to mention this before we dive into the next 90 days of exactly what you need to do. So let's talk about the first 30 days. The first 30 days is all about setting up your real estate business, making sure that you have a brand and marketing plan, you have a business plan. Have you thought about your business goals? Do you have a logo in plan? Have you gathered all of your brand elements like your marketing materials? Do you know exactly the font type, the colors that you're going to use? Because at the end of the day, what you as a personality, you as a person, will that going to be carried out in the way that you speak, in the way that you are embodied in the brands? And it's really important is because you want to write and you want to speak, and a lot of the images that you share has to embody your brand and what you represent in terms of your values. And you need to be able to do that, and you won't be able to do that if you don't have a marketing plan, a plan that's telling you exactly what to do. And this also comes with a unique selling proposition or unique value proposition. This is what makes you different than any other agent in your community, and how you're going to be able to stand out. And this is why this is a really good correlation to taking that time, that first 30 days, to learn system, get your CRM set up, get that plugged in. Or do you have your websites all put together? Do you have an IDX integrated website? So that means that if people who are coming to your website, your leads, are they able to look up properties? Are they able to look and potentially ask you to show them a property? Is it a real estate website? Do you have sales funnel to capture these leads? So set all of these systems up so that in the event that anybody goes to one of your Instagram posts, do you know who they are and can you capture them immediately? You need to be able to have a quite the journey from everything you do, all of your marketing, and they all have to connect back to your database. And you need to take the time to put systems in place, whether it be sales system, marketing system, admin, your finances, transaction, operations. You want to think about all elements of your business, social media. What channels are you going to be on? Create your online profiles, get the branding going so that people can over time, now they're 6 months in and it doesn't matter who's scrolling, they can immediately go like, oh, that's Jacob posting, because they know the type of content that you post. The other thing that you want to also focus on, putting together content marketing and thinking about what kind of content do I need to put out there in order to attract people? Because you can think and put any plans together all you want, but you won't be able to connect directly with your audience if you do not have the right content to speak to them. And it can come in any form. Some of the great ones are like blogs that can help you really rank on Google and search engines over time. And that's something that you should be doing regardless, right? Because they work. And it may not work in the next 3 months, 6 months, but it's about that long term building a brand over time because you're going to be in this business for a long time, not for the next 3 months and you're going to quit, right? And social media, any kind of content, when you're thinking about content, isn't just web content, right? You want to think about social media content. Have you leveraged a tool like Karuvi Social? It tells you exactly what to post on a day-to-day basis as a real estate agent. So if you don't have a marketing social media background, get onto a platform like that tells you strategy so your content looks different than everybody else's. It takes the guesswork out of what to do. It allows you to build your brand and brand awareness without having to put that time and cost too much cost into a platform. So, and video content, like how are you going to communicate with people? And that's where you're going to put this content marketing plan together in this first 30 days, really aligning, putting a lot of pillars in place, and think of it like the foundation for a house, right? You're laying out the foundation so that it's able to have a good structure and hold everything in that frame, if that makes sense.
So when we get into our second month into our next 30 days, we're going to talk about and set a foundation for how we're going to automate everything. I think this is where a lot of realtors kind of get hung up. They spend all this time doing that admin work, getting everything set up, but they don't have a true system automate lead capture and follow up. And experience in marketing, one of the most problems that I see is people don't have a way to really capture leads. They think, oh, I had 500 people on my website, I've got 500 leads, but a lead is something that you can capture and follow up with them later. So name, their email address, their phone number, even their address. You can mail them something. You have a way to follow up with them. So we want to implement clear way to capture leads. And so we do this with landing pages. So maybe you have a buyer's or seller's guide that you're giving away. So you want to send them to your landing page, capture their lead, and then email them the link, which is super important because if you just capture the lead and they put John at johndoe.com and 5555555 for their number, well, you didn't really capture a lead. So if you make them put in a good cell phone or a good email address to capture leads, then you can email them the link to download your guide with sales funnels. So you can send people to a buy, sell, real estate investors. This is customized funnel that is just for that target audience where it has one main conversion goal. So this is super important to incorporate a sales funnel into your current website. They shouldn't be separate. They should function together as a system. And if you need help with sales funnels, we have those available for you as well. Just drop a comment below and we can hook you up with that. And then squeeze pages, sending them to, homes under 350,000 to a particular area or neighborhood to capture their information to see that list of homes. And then the easiest way to capture leads is with online forms. So you do this, subscribe to your newsletter, again, download a buyer seller's guide, get access to this list. If you're running ads, you can run them directly to an online form to get their information first, and then redirect them to that landing page or that page. And then once you have a way to automate and capture leads 24/7 through your website and your landing pages, and the most important thing is follow up. Dharmila and I say this all the time. Most people do not have a lead generation problem. You have a lead conversion problem. Most people, it's so funny that people will pay a lot of money to get Facebook ads so they don't have to call. Okay. But either way, you still have to pick up the phone and call that lead because if they don't get the information they need, they're going to move on to the next realtor. But sometimes you might be busy showing a home or working or sleeping. So that's where automating your setting up your smart or your drip campaign, setting up behavioral automation, search alerts, sending voicemail drops. You can have this automated to where you're putting them in a drip to email them, to schedule phone calls for you to call getting all those touch points so you can increase your chance to convert and nurture this lead into a client, which is a deal. And then when converting the leads, how do we convert them? It's all based on that follow up. The more with them, the more you show them the support they need, the resources they need, that you're the expert realtor, that you're front of mind with them, and CMAs on their property. You can do weekly market reports or market reports. Send out a weekly newsletter about your area. And if you've watched any of our other trainings, we talk about that you don't just sell houses, you sell a lifestyle in your area. So send out a newsletter about your community, newest road openings, newest park openings, newest restaurants. Check out this newest neighborhood, price points in these homes. It doesn't all have to be about real, but that keeps you peace of mind that you really know what's going on in your area. You can send them additional resources. So if they came through, let's say, a Google ad and they're, you can send them your buyer's report. So send them extra stuff to constantly nurture them and show your expertise that you're there for them, and do kind of your pull marketing where you're pulling them to them. You can customize their search alerts. So if they've responded and exactly what they're looking for, then you can customize that search alert so they're not getting stuff that really doesn't qualify for them. And if you've heard Thermilla talk, she always tells everybody in your CRM, you should put on a search alert, because what's going to happen is they're going to say, "Oh, I wasn't looking for a condo. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house." Okay, well, now you got them to respond, and now you can put them on a proper search alert. And then you can do home valuations as well. So people are curious, what does my house sell for in this current? That's another way for you to kind of convert these leads them in and show them what you can do for them as their real estate agent.
And then now let's talk about the next 30 days. So now you're going past the 60 days, and this is one of the most crucial uh, days of your business, is because now you're going to look for that continuous momentum. You're really scaling your business because you started to grow. You put laid out some foundation. You now starting to generate leads. You have some automations going with follow up, because follow up is one of the most important things. A lot of people automate a couple of things. They go off and do their business, and their business falls apart because their leads have chosen somebody else to work with. So you need to be really on it. So how do you be really on it? It's really about focusing on upping up a lot of all aspects of your business. So let's talk a little bit about that. One of the things you want to do is you want to continue to increase your lead generation activity. You want to take your content that you're doing, 10x it. Take it to the next level by adding, instead of going from 5 things to know about a restaurant, now you're interviewing them. Now going on social media, instead of just posting, you're doing shorts. You're doing reels, you're doing stories, you're doing a poll, you're having conversation, you're really taking your content and making it a little bit more immersive for people to interact with your content. And you're creating content, different media like videos, and different ways to connect with people. And maybe you are spending a little bit more money on your ad. So let's say the first 60 days you spent, you're just doing the property boost, few properties at $60, and you're bringing in a couple of hundred leads. Now you want to take that a little bit more. You want to you want to maybe spend $1,000 a month. And this way we have agents who are closing. We had an agent who's a number one agent in Canada at our brokerage. She closed 250 deals last year, and that's all on online leads. So you could do that too. So how do you do that? And you think about, and this is why we mentioned earlier on, is that you want to be aligned with the right people, right? Because sometimes people teach you, "Oh, this worked for me. I did video marketing, and I'm a top producer in my area. Here, do these content, you will succeed too." But that worked for them in their market at that particular time with their personality, their brand. You could duplicate that all you want, but there's a point that you can't, because you're your own person. And what you do, what you're comfortable with, how you speak, your content, your brand is aligned. So that's why everything you do now, you're going to up it to the next level, and you want to make it more immersive. And but doesn't mean you're going to do a lot of everything, right? You want to choose one or two lead generation method, but you're 10xing those. So if you're on YouTube, maybe you want to do 2 videos a week rather than one video, every 2 weeks. You want to start doing open houses. You want to potentially get the listing out to people, leverage the MLS listing. If you don't have any listing, you probably might not when you hit the 90-day or the 60 days, past the 60 days, and that's okay. Completely normal. But what you want to do is take all the other listings on the market, get permission, and start to share them. The other thing that I wanted to highlight in this portion of your, leading up to that 90 days is networking and collaboration. I'm not sure if you've heard of that quote. You can go fast if you go alone, but if you go with others, and if you go with others, you can go far further. So it is really important that you're working with other professionals. Remember, you all have the same end goal. You all have the same clients. At the end of the day, same audience, right? So work with other professionals, share cost, share resources, put events together, interview them. They interview you, leverage their platform. I bet you if you take any other person in your market, they could be literally in the next building beside you. They may not have the same followers as you. Amazing, right? What if you guys can repost each other's content? You can interview each other, cross promote, expanding your reach. You expand your brand awareness, and you can make these relationship with your mortgage agents, your, if you're in Canada, like with your lawyers, if you're in the US with title companies, if you inspectors, work with other service providers in order to leverage their network and vice versa. And you can make a plan where if people come through any of the work that you've done with them, you immediately work with your chosen professional, if that makes sense. And this is where, we were really intentional about the type of words we used in this. And yes, I wrote aggressive in here. When Jacob and I were thinking about how we wanted to present this, is because we realized, and I'm not sure if you're looking at statistics, but 44% of salespeople, only they give up after their first attempt at follow up. Hence why they're not closing deals. Every single time I sit with one of my agents and I'm reviewing their work, and when they're telling me something isn't working, they haven't gotten a deal, they haven't had conversation, it all goes up to follow up. You generating leads doesn't do anything. How are you going to build a relationship if you're not speaking to the people that are coming into your database? As simple as that. So you're going to put together a monthly follow-up plan. If you need help with this, connect with Jacob and I. We have monthly follow up plans. I have a whole course on how to leverage your CRM for your follow up. And I highly recommend you put together a follow up strategy and you commit to an aggressive follow up strategy. And if you have funding, like if you have budgets, if you have access to funds, I highly recommend that you hire an inside sales agent or somebody who is going to speak, a human that is going to not drop a single ball, and they're going to be the point of contact that is going to follow out your campaigns for you, the sequence for you, continue the conversation, stay in touch with your task of following up. You may be calling someone multiple times a day until they pick up. And if you can't do that as an agent, then you need to hire somebody else to do it, or you're not going to be able to close a deal, period. So, aggressive follow up and committing to the process is really huge. And I want to drive that home. And this is what you're going to continue to do. So, one thing about this slide, and if you are taking pictures or notes, this is one of those slides that I highly recommend that you make a note of, is you're going to continue to do this for the next end of year. You're going to continue to look at your content. You're going to continue to keep putting out content, collaborating, create new content, and with what's trending, putting together more market reports, checking out and working with your clients. As your business is building and as you're growing, you're continuing to do follow up. And if not, you can definitely scale and hire. And that's why it's really important that even Jacob and I, we started to leverage, even with video editing, even to do social media content, leverage VAs. We leverage our own marketing companies and people in our network. Highly recommend that you do that and start to work with other people so you can go together, go further.
And then once you've had everything going, you need to be able to track and learn from what you're doing. What is the data telling you that's happening in your business? One of the things that we always hear is, "Oh, I think it's not working," or after 2 weeks of trying to generate ads on Facebook, he says, "Oh, it doesn't work." Well, it does work. You have to give it time. One thing about continuous learning for me is you need to have real expectations. We need to be in reality. There is no overnight success. There's people that use Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, that go out and knock on doors, cold call. It all works. It's just how much time and effort are you going into it. But one thing to know is you got to continuously learn from your business. So you need to be measuring and tracking everything. Now, if you're doing ads, you're doing social media, That stuff is easier to track because a lot of your social media accounts will give you analytics, how many people you've reached, how many people have watched your stories. And then based on those links, you can use stuff like Rebrandedly, where you can, or Bitly, where you can track the links, how many people click those. So there's so many resources out there for every link that you have. How many clicks are you getting? If you're using your website, then you're going to want to use something like Google Analytics, and then also install Google Search Console so you can see how many people are on your website, what area they're from geographically, are they on a mobile device? Are they on their desktop? Sometimes it'll tell you, is it a man, a woman? Give you as much analytics. Are they on iPhone, Android? It gives you everything you can to really drill down who your audience is, how long they're spending on your website. You want to make sure that they're not getting there and disappearing in 20 seconds because that's overall going to hurt your SEO. So that tells you they're not finding what they need on your website. So you want to track and analyze all of the data that you can. And then you want to review this data and see, what is it telling me? Clicks I'm getting to my website, how many of those are converting to leads? And then out of the leads that I have that I'm following up with, how many are converting into clients and how many of those clients are actually turning into deals? So you need to know those numbers and where you're at. So that way you can adjust and implement new strategies. If you've been doing Facebook 6 months and you're getting a little bit of leads or they're not quality leads, then guess what? Maybe Facebook is not right for your area. Maybe try Google ads, maybe do more organic social media, try blogging. So other than that stuff, but be very careful on when and how you adjust because you do things too soon. But make sure you're tracking, learning from everything that you're so that you can scale and grow your business.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I do definitely want to make sure that I mention this is that I know Jacob lightly alluded to is that when you're analyzing these content, it is really important that you take the time to look at the content, be present with it, but at the same time, remember a lot of us read content and data according to where and how we're feeling in that moment, and we analyze or we quickly analyze. I know that you know even in the 90 days you could take some time to look at your data to see what's working, what isn't, but I wouldn't make any harsh decision as to, oh, this content doesn't work and dismiss it, because you'll be surprised that numbers are sometimes like vanity numbers. Sometimes people might have hundreds and thousands of followers, and trust me, I've been there. Some of my posts or videos that had less followers have brought me actual clients that I converted over some videos of mine that have hundreds and thousands of views, and that doesn't do anything. So often we think that the most engaging content is what converts, and you'll be really surprised that it's really about the quality of content. Are you ultimately putting your content that connects with your followers, and give adequate time for your marketing plans, your business plan to work, your content to work. And think about it, algorithm needs time, SEO needs time. For you to ever even show up in the first page of Google takes time. So really commit to your marketing plan, commit to your content. Don't give up so easily thinking that, oh, I did this for 3 months. It's not going to give me. You'll be surprised. Maybe it's the fourth month that this would have worked if you had continued. And this is sadly a tragic case for any industry, any business owner. So adjusting too soon can potentially become a waste for you in a way that all these valuable time you put into creating something so magical, you put a stop to it so too soon, thinking that the numbers gave you a different answer when it really wasn't giving you. Maybe it's about that compound effect. So really establish a clear time frame, stick to it, and make changes to your marketing plan as you grow, and be really start to project things when you don't have numbers, but you're not. And then now when you get some real numbers, you can start to evaluate what's working, what isn't. And especially when you start to get some real movements in business, in real momentum in your business. I hope that was helpful for you to really understand from all aspects of how to put together and lay out the foundation for your business. I really want to take time right now to take any questions that you may have. I want to be able to answer them for you. Jacob and I really put this together thinking about it doesn't matter how busy you get. It doesn't matter how many things you're doing. You can still carry out and have a successful business if you follow this plan. And really, you don't have to do everything in this plan, but if you've noticed, if you look at the headline of each, It's really about understanding, okay, network and collaboration. It's not about doing 5 more interviews or 20 more interviews, or I have to interview my mortgage agent. No, because what may work for you in your market might not work for somebody else. So it's really strategy driven. And that's what Jacob and I, why we're so different than a top producer that did just video marketing in their market and became this amazing, well known person, which is awesome, but are they the right person to teach every single one of you as to how if video marketing is right for your market? So that's why where Jacob and I comes in, and we teach you marketing strategies. So work doesn't matter what brand you are, where you are, and what industry you are, because the principle is principles and they apply all across the board. And I hope that's helpful. We'll love to take some questions at this point, and we'll go from there. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the chat box right now and we'll take them. And in the meantime, I want to take time to mention that again, we have a Facebook group. Join us there. This is where we collect all the topics that you want to see, bring guests to make sure that we're actually delivering those content to you. And also, or if you have to jump early and if you can't come to any of these training, we record all of these trainings. So we put them on our YouTube channel because it was a highly requested thing from all of you, from our community. So I encourage you to go on our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're getting updates on more content that is coming up. Ask questions, comment, tell us know if you're, let us know if you're confused. And ultimately, if you are in your business right now and if you feel like you're not making momentum, you're not moving, or if you already have an amazing business but you want to just take it to the next level and make more money, save more, and make multiple streams of income, have access to training, no obligation whatsoever. Maybe we could call with Jacob and I, and we'll show you what we're doing at our brokerage and our global virtual brokerage.
There is one question. So, for somebody that's new getting their license, what are some good questions to ask a brokerage when interviewing?
Absolutely. That's a great question. We actually have a template. So if you wanted, when I started getting into the industry, I interviewed about 8 brokerages and I would collect all their information as to, I would ask all of them the same questions. And remember, it's not them interviewing you, you're interviewing them, right? So keep that in mind. You're choosing who's right for you to drive your business forward. You need to know exactly. I recommend you do a SWOT analysis. And if you want to know what that means, you can head to my YouTube channel, Tharmila Rajasingam. You can put that in and put SWOT, SWOT analysis. I highly recommend you do this at least twice a year. Trust me, the amount of information it'll give you is mind blowing. So when it gives you an analysis of who you are as a brand. So now you know what you need help with and what you lack, where you need improvements. That's what you go and find. So if you need help with lead generation and growing your business, partner with people like me and Jacob, right? But if you need help with transaction, great. Make sure you have a broker that only wears one hat to help you, like that we have at our brokerage. So figure out exactly where you fall short, where your strengths are, and drive those home. So some of the questions that I highly recommend asking them is, how much time on a weekly basis will you commit to me? What are the type of resources? What are my tools? Can my CRM, how many people can it hold? What are some lead engine tools that come with the CRM? Can my CRM do lead generation? Does it come with a free website? Do I own my leads? Can I run ads through my CRM? Can my CRM tell me exactly who's coming into my database, when, what properties are looking at? Can I actually like spy on my leads? If you can, then you're using the wrong CRM, because I have a CRM, a smart CRM that I use that does all of that and more for free. So you should ask all these questions to make sure, can they give you leads? Can they build business for you? And let's say they say, I don't give you leads. That's amazing. That means that you need to go and build your business that's right for you, because when they give you leads and business, that tells you that the moment, this is one big mistake I've noticed about the questions, that whenever I ask them, oh, do you give us leads? And some of them say yes, because thinking that that's the answer that I'm looking for. And they're like, that's all they focus on, is thinking that, oh, this person just wants to close a deal. Little do they know is that I'm looking to build a long-term business over time where I can close as many deals as possible. I don't want to expire. I want to retire and retire early, have multiple streams of income, have my money work for me. And that's how I immediately know this is the brokerage that I may not want to be a part of, right? So gather all the questions that is important to you. And some questions for you may be different than somebody else, but I do have a spreadsheet of like simple questions like, what are my fees? If you are paying for desk fees for somebody else's rent and mortgage of maintaining the brick and mortar, I'll tell you one thing, you're at the wrong place. Because Jacob and I and 87,000 agents at our brokerage are closing deals every single day, and some may not, because sometimes they are part of, infrastructures in their market, but not every single person actually goes into an office and they're still closing deals. So pretty much my point is that you can still close deals without having a local community. So think about those kind of things in mind as well. But remember, the type of question, the answers that come to you, you the questions that you ask, the answer that you're looking to potentially get, they're all up to you, and how in control that you are for your life. Because how effective your questions are, it's going to give you the right answer that's going to propel your business forward, if that makes sense. I had people that come to me and say, I'm looking for a flat fee brokerage, I'm looking for a low fee brokerage, and I asked them, are you is real estate a side hustle, or I want leads, or do you looking to actually close deals? And it's not just putting food on your table, but it's really about building a business and to have a lifestyle that you dreamt of. And I think, and some people, like a brokerage like ours might not be right for you, right? If you're someone who is, fits into a, wants a particular different types of needs, and you need to go to the brokerage that makes sense for you. And I think you wouldn't know that until you do a SWOT analysis and ask those questions for yourself about where you want to go. I hope that's helpful.
Very
And
good.
do
And
feel free to add to.
no, you said it perfectly, honestly. Just make sure one thing, if you're a new agent, just make sure that they entertain new agents, because some people just want producers and they'll tell you, I'll help you when you get a lead. So make sure they're willing to train you from the beginning and they're not taking a huge cut. There's a lot of brokerages that'll make you pay for an entire year, 10% of an extra 10% of your split to work with their mentor who probably hasn't done a deal in 10 years. And on top of that, any deal that you do outside of that, you still have percent split whether they help you or not. So make sure you just ask those specific questions. What's your mentorship program like? How much does it cost me? And make sure that it's the right fit for you.
Yeah, and I think that's why I want you to take from here is that I'm not saying that it has to be this way, that if you don't want these kind of trainings or multiple streams of income or these kind of tools, that you're not going to have the right business. Absolutely not. There's top producers at every brokerage is, right?
Yes.
Find the right brokerage for you, and it may not be our brokerage, it may not be the number one brokerage in the world. You wouldn't know. Just ask the right questions, and trust me, I met many agents who are so happy at their local boutique brokerage just beside their home, and they pay the fees for it and they love it. And maybe that's for you, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Hey, find what works for your life, and embody it, live it, and go for it. And take time, don't give up. Like, a lot of people blame their broker. Take full control of your life and all responsibilities of what works for you and what doesn't, and I guarantee you're going to see a lot of changes in your life. But thank you so much for that questions. Is there anything else that we can help you with?
Looks like there's no other questions. One last thing I want to add is that when you're searching for a brokerage, or maybe you're just stuck in your business, maybe you need a change, definitely go to our FridayConnect.net website, click that partner button. It'll be down in the description for those of you who are watching later. Go take a look at everything that we offer on top of what our brokerage offers, and that support guide, and use that as a guide, just if other brokerages are even remotely offering anything close to that. And I guarantee, but that way you get an idea of some of the support and things that whether you need it right now or now. We have such a huge value stack, like I said, with social media content done for you. We have website templates and funnels and KV core trainings to help you set up your CRM and how to use it properly. We have the top social agent uh, um, social media training in the world. And then we also, like I said, the social media content done for you. So we take the guesswork on what to write in your blogs, what to post on, what video content. So everything you need to do to be successful in your 90 days is just as implementing it and being consistent with it. And we're here to help and serve you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jacob, for being here. Thank you for everybody being here. This is great. We'll see you next time. Again, stay connected. Register for the next events. We're here every single week, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.
See you guys next week.